Second esdras 656. For others come from Adam, they are nothing, but be like unto a spittle, they are like a drop that falls from a vessel. 657. These heathens that thy reputed as nothing have begun to be our lords over us and devour us. 658. Those called your firstborn are handled or handed over to their hands. 659. If the world is made for our sake, why do we not possess inheritance with the world? How long will this last? 7:1-3. Angels sent to him, hear the words I have come to tell you. 7:9. If this city is given as an inheritance, if danger never comes to it, how will they receive their inheritance? Good question. 7:12. Then were the entrance of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are few and narrow, full of perils and very painful. 7:13. Entrance of the old world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. 7:14. Therefore, if they labor not, shall not receive that which is reserved for them. 7:15. Why then disquiet yourselves, seeing you're a corruptible human? Why are you moved when you're only a mortal? 5:17-18. Thy ordained the law that the righteous shall inherit these things, yet the ungodly shall perish. Yet the righteous must suffer these things, and hope for wide. For those who done wickedness have suffered the straight things, and won't see the wide. 5:20. Many shall perish because they hate the law of the source. 1:5. Go show your people their sinful deeds and their children's wickedness, which they've done against me, that they may tell their children's children. 1:6. For their ancestors' sins are increased in them. They forgotten me and offended and offered to strange gods. 1:8. Pull the hair off their heads, cast evil upon them, for they've not obeyed my laws and are rebellious. 1:9-24. I've done so much for you, yet you still won't obey my laws. 1:25. I'll forsake you, seeing you forsaken me. 1:32. I've sent prophets who you slain, which blood I require of you. 1:35-36. I'll give your houses to a people who haven't heard of me, yet shall believe, seeing no signs, yet follow my commands, seeing no prophets, yet call sins into remembrance and acknowledge them. 21. Brought them out of bondage, gave my commandments by my servants the prophets, but they won't listen. 2:12. They've had the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor, shall not labor nor weary. 2:13. Go and you shall receive. Pray for a few days that they may be short. The kingdom is already prepared for you. 2:14. Heaven and earth as a witness, I've broken evil into pieces and created good. 2:18. For your help I've sent my servants Esai and Jeremy, after whom's counsel I've sanctified and prepared for you 12 trees laden with divers fruit. 2:20. Do right to the widows, judge the fatherless, and give the poor, defend the orphans, and clothe the naked. 2:28. The heart shall envy you. The heathen shall envy you, but shall not be able to do anything. 5:1. The days will come when those dwelling on the earth shall be taken in a great number. The way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. 5:2. Iniquity shall be increased more than what was seen presently or of the old times. 5:3. The land you see will be wasted away suddenly. 4. If the source wishes you to live, shall see after the third trumpets, the sun shall shine suddenly at night, and the moon 3 times in the day. 6. They shall rule who they look not for, that dwell on the earth. 8. Confusion will be in many places. Fire sent out again. The beasts will change their places. The menstruous woman will give birth to monsters. 1:5. Go and show my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness, which they've done against me, that they will that they will tell their children's children. I believe I wrote that down. 1:6. For the sins of their fathers are increased in them, and they forgotten me. I believe that's repeat. 2:26. My servants who I've given you shall not one perish, for I'll require them from among thy numbers. 2:27. Be not weary in the troubled days. Many will weep and have sorrows, yet you shall be merry and have abundance. 2:33. I, Esdras, received this charge on Mount Oreb, came to them, and they despised me and received not thy commandments. 2:34. I said to the heathen, look for the shepherd. He'll give everlasting rest, for he is now at hand that shall come at the end of the world. 2:36. Flee the shadow of this world. I testify my Savior openly. 2:40. Take the number of Zion, take the number O Zion, and seal them up, who have fulfilled the law of the source. 2:43. A young man taller than all of the rest upon their heads set a crown and was more exalted. 2:45. These are they who put off the mortal body and put on the immortal body. 2:46 through 47. Who's the young man that crowns them? It's the son of the source. 4:1 through 2. The angel Ariel said, your heart goes too far in this world. Think you are able to comprehend the ways of the Most High? 4:3. I'm sent to show you 3 ways. 34. Don't hasten in these things. Don't rush past the Most High, for your haste is in vain. 9:13. Be not curious how the wicked will be punished. Inquire how the righteous will be saved. 9:23. Do 7 more days and yet not fast. 9:24. Go to the field of flowers. Eat only flowers of the field, not flesh nor wine. 9:25. Pray to the highest continuously. 9:27 through 28. After 7 days my heart was vexed in me. Opened my mouth and talked before the source. 10:3. When they left, I arose at night and came here to the fields. 4. I proposed not to return to the city, also not to eat or drink, yet mourn till I die. 11:1. From the sea came an eagle. 11:5. Flew with the feathers and ruled the earth. 11:3 through 4. Out of her feathers grew, contrary to the other feathers, that grew smaller and smaller, yet the head was at rest. The head was in the middle, was greater than all, and yet rested in the midst, in the residue. 7 through 8. The eagle rose and spoke. Watch not all at once, but sleep everyone in their own place, and watch by course. 11:9. Let the heads be preserved until the last. 12 through 46, I believe. The feathers rule one by one. After the other passed away, the next rule. 11:25. Some feathers from under thought to themselves that they would rule the world. 11:29. When they thought to do so, one of the heads in the midst awoke. 30 through 31. Saw the other 2 heads join with it at the other 2 feathers who thought to rule. 32. The head put the whole earth in fear, ruled over all that dwelt upon it, was more powerful than those wings before. 12:11. The eagle I saw came out of the sea. Is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of Daniel, of thy brother Daniel. 2:13. A kingdom will rise and will be feared among all nations. 12, so that was 12:13, 12:18, and the kingdom will arise great striving, yet it won't fall, but yet be restored. 12:24, those that dwell therein with much oppression above all those before, therefore they'll be called the head of the eagle. 12:30, these are they the Most High have until the end preserved, a small kingdom full of trouble. 12:31 through 32, the lion you saw come out of the woods, speaking to the eagle and rebuking it. This is the anointed who the Most High kept for them, and their wickedness shall reprove them and upbraid their wickedness. 11:3, I believe. Write these in the book. I'm sorry, 11:37. Write these in the book. 11:38. Teach the wise of the people. 11:40 through 42. When 7 days passed, people gathered and came, asking, "How did we offend you? For all the prophets, you are the last." I just have 11:48. 11:51. I remained another 7 days, eating only the flowers, and had the meat of the herbs. 13:1 through 7. Waxed a strong man with the thousands of heavens. At his countenance all things trembled. A great multitude of humans from four winds gathered to subdue the man. He flew upon the mountain. I would have seen the region or the place without an hill, but it was graven, and I saw it not. 13:12. He came down from the mountain and called unto him a peaceful multitude. 13:9 through 11. He lifted not a hand nor a sword, yet out of his mouth came fire. He burnt them all. 13:13. Those who came, some were glad, some were sorry, some were bound, some were offered. 13:16. Woe that be left in those days, woe even more to those that not left in those times. 13:19. Now understand which is reserved for the latter days shall happen to those left behind. 12:23. Endure the peril in that time. He have kept themselves. Those fallen into danger are those who have works and faith towards the Most High. 13:24. Those left behind will be more blessed than the dead. 13:25 through 26. The man on the mountain the man on the mountain is who the source has reserved until the great season shall deliver thy creatures and order those who are left. 13:29. The days are coming when the source will start to deliver those who are on the earth. 13:30. He'll come to the astonishment of those on the earth. 13:31. One shall fight another, city shall fight another city, realm against another, the people against another people. 13:33 through 34. And when they see him, will stop fighting and join together against him. 35. He'll stand upon Mount Zion. 37. This my son shall rebuke the world of the wicked intentions, have fallen into temptation for their wickedness. 38. Shall bring forward their wicked thoughts, shall torment of which they'll be tormented with labors of law, which is like fire. 39:40. The peaceable multitudes are those 10 tribes who were captive, who were carried over waters into another land. 13:41 through 42. They took counsel among themselves to, so 41 through 42. They took counsel among themselves to leave the multitude of the heathens, to go where no one dwelt, to keep the statutes which they never kept in their own lands. 13:43 through 45. They entered by the Euphrates, the narrow passage of the river. The Most High showed signs for them and held still the flood till they had passed over. For by that country was a great way to go, namely 1.5 years, same region called Arsarath. 13:45. They who remained under her will do service unto them that have put her in fear. 1546, Asia, that are partakers of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. 1547, woe to you, you wretch. So woe to you, wretch, for you made yourself like unto her, made thy daughters abhor them. 1548, followed her who is hated in all works and inventions. 1346, there they dwelt until the latter times. 49, when thy destroys the multitude of people, will save thy people. 54, for you forsaken your own way, and applied thy diligence unto the law, and searched it. 14, 8 through 9, lay in your heart the signs shown, the dreams and interpretations seen, for you'll be taken away from all, shall remain with my son. 14, 13 through 14, set houses in order, reprove your people, comfort those in trouble, and renounce corruption. Let go of the mortal thoughts, cast away burdens of humans, put off now the weak nature. 14:23, tell your people not to seek you for 40 days. 14:25, come here and I'll light a candle of overstanding that isn't able to be put out, shall write them down. 14:26, some things you'll publish, some you will show secretly to the wise. 14:37, took 5 men, went to the fields and remained there. 14:38, the voice called and said, open your mouth and drink. 39, a cup full of water, yet looked like fire. 14:40, I drank, and my heart uttered overstanding. Wisdom grew in my heart, for my spirit strengthened my memory. 14:41, my mouth opened and wouldn't shut. 14:42, the highest gave overstanding to the 5 men. They wrote wonderful visions of the night that were told. Watch they knew not. So the highest gave them overstanding to the 5 men. They wrote wonderful visions of the night that were told, which they knew not. 14:43, I spoke in the day and held my tongue not at night. 14:44, in 40 days they wrote 204 books. 45, the first you've written, publish openly to the worthy and unworthy, that they may read it. 46, keep the last 70, that you may deliver only such as have been proven to be wise. 47, for in them is a spring of overstanding, a fountain of wisdom, and a stream of knowledge. 15, 1 through 2, speak to my people the words of the prophecy, cause them to be written on paper, for they're faithful and true. 15:3, fear not the imagination against you, let not the incredulity of them trouble you that speak against you. 15:4 through 5, unfaithful shall die in unfaithfulness. I'll bring plagues on the earth, sword, famine, death, and destruction. 15:6, wickedness has polluted the earth, their works are fulfilled. 15:8, I'll hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. No longer will I suffer them. Innocent and righteous blood cries to me. 15:10, my people are led like a flock to slaughter. Won't allow them to dwell in Egypt. 15:16, will be sedition among humans, invading one another. Won't regard the king nor the princes. Courses of their actions shall stand in their power. 15:17, one shall desire to go into the city and not be able. 15:21, like as they do to my chosen, I shall do to them, and recompense in their bosom. 15:29, where the nations of the dragon of Arabia, all nations who hear of them will tremble. 31, then the dragons will have the upper hand, yet remember themselves / nature, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. 43, they'll go steadfastly to Babylon and make her afraid. 44, besiege her and pour all wraths upon her. Smoke will reach the heavens, and those in her will be weller. 46. Asia, who is a partaker of her hope of Babylon. I think I repeated this again. But this is the actual, the other one you heard about Asia was wrong. This is 15 is the correct. So 8, Asia, who is a partaker of the hope of Babylon. So I repeated it. 1547, woe to you, wretch, because you become like her. You deck thy daughters in whoredom. 1548, followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. 1556 to 57, as you have done to my chosen children, I will do to the. So as you've done to my chosen, thy children will die of hunger and fall by the sword. 1620, for all those things thou won't turn from their wickedness. So for everything you still see, still won't turn from your wickedness. 1624, shall be no humans left on the planet or on the earth. 1640, make ready for the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. 1650, so shall righteousness hate iniquity when it decks itself, shall accuse them to their face. 1653 through 54, let no sinner say that I sin not, for the source sees all. 1673, then they'll be made known who are my chosen, shall be tested as gold in the fire.